What's going on, guys? How is everyone doing today? I'm just getting everything situated real quick. We got an interesting one here. Just real quick, can you guys see me and can you hear me? We got a whole bunch of stuff for today's show. I want to say thank you. I noticed there was 4 people waiting for almost 40 minutes for the pre-roll to start. That's really touching to me, so thank you for waiting around. You are a go. Thank you, Mr. Exquisite, the one and only. Appreciate you as always. Are you salty right now? Because I am so salty about those damn McNugget pillows. I can't tell you how frustrating it is that I did not pull the trigger on it. And I'll tell you why. Okay? Because I could not tell if the product was a produce to demand product. Because I go through the whole website. Okay? Those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, look up the McNugget body pillows. I go through the whole website. Nothing sold out. And I'm thinking, okay, you know, they're just testing the waters. They, made prototypes of the items, and they're just going to make, whatever people order, that's how many they're going to produce, because they have some ridiculous prices, $100 for this, $450 for some jeans, $250 for a t-shirt. I'm like, they're just going to print them when people order them. It's a smart play. And nothing was sold out. And I come back this morning and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to check that pillow one more time. And I do a search for it, and I see tons of news stories about these damn pillows. And I just had that gut feeling. I'm like, I'm going to go back to the site, and that's going to be the only thing sold out. And I go back to the site, every single item on the site looked like it was sold out. And then I go to eBay, and that's when I see that they're selling for $250 to $300, and they're active from $350 to thousands people are trying to get for them. I'm gonna check back again. I'm just going to ruin my day, and I'm going to look one more time just to see. McNugget pillow. It's just gonna pain me. Did anyone get one? I had 9 of them in my cart, and I was so upset that I didn't pull the trigger on it. I should have, but the thing is that the only problem. Okay, yeah, they're still selling for like $250, 220, 220, 220, 200. Okay, I'll tell you what the problem is. 2 problems. One, the store said that if you order an item from them, there is no guarantee that you will get the item. And then if the item does not show up, you need to take it up with the courier. You cannot take it up with them. They don't care. It's not their responsibility, okay? Their responsibility is to pack it up and ship it out. Now, man, could you imagine if we did that out here at eBay? Oh, no, we shipped the item out. It's out of our hands now. We can't help you. So, yeah, that was a thing. And then, you didn't know. I didn't know. If I knew it wasn't a printed demand, if they said, okay, we're only making 500 of these are limited edition to 100, limited edition to 1,000, I would have pulled the trigger on it. But I don't know. You can't just be making $1,000 gambles every day of the week. If you do that, you're gonna start losing your ass here and there, and it's just not going to be worth it. Did anyone get any? I have no clue. At least I did mention it in group chat, so I can pat myself on the back for having found at least somewhat of a reasonable item. Hold on, let me get this set up a little bit lower. There we go. That's a better camera height. But yeah, we got a big show in store for today. Who do we have here? Let me see if I can make this. Can I make this bigger without breaking the entire... No, I'll break it. Is it me or did Jay get a big boy haircut? Yeah, I had to chop it down. Yeah. The thing is with the haircuts, they're still hush-hush here in California. That's what they said, the number one cause of COVID transmission is men's haircuts. So but they're allowing people to do them inside now, which is amazing. People were getting their haircuts outside in 110 degrees while it was smoky. That was the only thing that they had a chance to get, unless you knew somebody. Talking about the Travis merch, I didn't know when it released. It released like 3 days ago, and I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, oh, this is funny, good lulz. Because I've seen a lot of merch drops happen, and then just nothing comes of it, and that was that. And I'm like, okay. But this one, I should have had more foresight, but you live and learn, I suppose. But yeah, no, I was able to go out and get a haircut. This haircut cost me $25. And that's what happens here in California, because you have to make appointments now to get haircuts. And you have to know somebody. They're not taking new customers, so if you don't know a barber, you can't get a haircut here in Bakersfield. And then you have to pay the appointment fee, and then you get your actual haircut. And then you got to tip them. So I think the haircut was, I don't know, $18. You tip them $7 just for the sheer convenience of being willing to cut your hair. Who do we got in the audience today? We got Rhiannon. We got Money for Mars. Hello to both of you guys. We got Mr. Exquisite. Mike T. Fat Girl Sewing. Long time no see. Happy to have you back again. And we got Thriftin' Flip. I just got the burger, SMH. I always forget about the hype for the little things. Yep. I'm dumb because I talk about collectibles all the time. I really feel like I dropped the ball on this one, and I've been kicking myself all day because it's not like, oh, yeah, you missed out on your chance to get a pillow. I was going to buy 9 of them, and I had them in my cart. I lost $1,000 minimum because of this. Obviously, I think that's going to be after fees and, fees on eBay, ship cost over, ship cost back, yada, 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 maybe $700. But that's still a lot of money to miss out on within, a 48-hour period. So I'm a little salty about that. Why is my thing not working? I cannot see my analytics while the show is playing. That's a shame. And I don't dare refresh this window. It's early. Let's try it. Let's refresh this window and see if the world ends. Hey, looks like it's still working. My God, is it toasty in here. Don't forget today, guys, it is a live Q&A. If you got any questions regarding reselling stuff, we're going to be covering a lot. I know we get a pretty big house in here when we're doing the seller updates. This one is it's an interesting one. I do want to thank some of the people within the community, the Patreon community specifically. Let's raise this up again. For helping me find certain specifics, things that I wouldn't have thought to take the time to talk about, like the whole removal of the Black Americana category. I wanted to say African Americana, but that's almost too PC apparently. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. We're, 4 minutes off? We're running a little bit early tonight, just because I didn't feel like waiting even longer. Anyone have any interesting sales this week? I know I had a few oddball ones that I didn't even talk to anyone about this week. Here's a good one that just happened last night. A Broken Noise plushie, Fallout Boy plushie. $33.99. You can't beat that. But I've just had some weird ones lately. I've been pushing really hard to get inventory out the door, going through revising old listings, staggered sales, 5%, then 10%, then 15% week over week over week. And that seems to work pretty well. Second to last Goose outfit sold this week. It was the Miles Kimball Large Goose Outfit Bride. So somebody out there is excitedly waiting for their Goose Bride outfit to arrive at their house. This was a neat one. Oh man, I didn't even realize I had the wrong picture up. I had the picture of the back of the item. Here, we'll flip it around. Improvised Ninja Smoke Devices by Toshitoro Yamashiro, 1985 book. It's almost like the size of a magazine. I took the time to read through it. I mean, if you're considering making some improvised smoke devices, I mean, it is a pretty good aid to assist you in making those. Some of you guys might remember the robots that we used to have here on the back shelf. I just got over them. I didn't feel like dealing with them anymore, so I've been going through and getting those sold as well. Handful of those popping out the door. If it's your first time here, let me know where you're from. Love to give you a little bit of a hello. We got some interesting items from the swap this week as well. Had a record sale on an item. I bought these a long time ago. I bought 10 copies of this game. I paid $100 a piece for them. I'd probably say it was maybe 7 or 8 years ago, and I had my highest sale to date of $849 for one of these. And I only have one more left. One more left. CT in the house. I've been doing a lot of offers to buyers too. I don't know if you guys are fiddling with that, but we did the master class on offer to buyer like 2 weeks ago, and I strongly suggest you check it out. It really stimulated my sales this month. $15 for a Nintendo tennis ball. I don't know. Oddball sales. I got chapstick. It's the very end of the chapstick. Has anyone else here taken the time to read through the entire seller update? I'm curious. I'm curious if there's people here who just say, nope, I don't read any of it at all. I am just going to tune in, and that's where I'm going to learn everything that I need to know. Hello, Allie. Welcome to everyone. Make sure you hit that like button before we get going. We got 24 people watching. We only got 6 likes. Let's see what we can do about fixing that. But we're going to give everyone just one last second to get in here. Sadly, I read it all. Well, you're going to hear some repeat information then, my friend. I got a little tidbit. It's not so much about the actual details, but I know sometimes people tune in. They want to hear my spin on it. Soft lips are not required, but they're always appreciated. You're very welcome. From Connie Lingus. Okay, La Perfumery. It was way too long for me to read, so I am tuned in. Cheers. This will be a fun one. Let's go and get this party started. What is going on, guys? My name is Jay Kraft here with the Facebook group All Around Pickers Lounge, coming at you live from beautiful Bakersfield, California. Today is September 13th, 2020, and unlike all the times I've said in the past, tonight is going to be a huge show, and I promise you for that. Reason is we're going to be covering eBay's Fall 2020 Seller Update, and from what I've heard, this is going to be the last update of the year, but as you've seen, they've been sneaking little bits in here and there. We're going to cover some of the previous bits and some of the future bits that you need to know about. We're also going to be taking some time, and we're going to be looking at the pickups that I got on the week. I got some really cool stuff from the swap meet. I got some really cool stuff from the thrift store, and I had a friend who said, hey, I'm going to be donating all this stuff to the thrift store. Do you want it? And of course the answer is yes. I'm also going to talk with you guys about making sure that you're tapping into that warm market. Don't let me forget. I forgot to put it in my notes, but it is something that I want to talk about. While we're here too, we're going to be answering all your questions live on air. Whenever we do these seller updates, I know we get a little bit of a larger audience than normal. If I don't get to your question right away, then just bear with me. I'll do my best to come around full circle to it, but the best time to ask is during the video. Okay, it benefits everyone. If you ask me in the comments after, if you send me a DM after and say, Jay, I was too afraid to ask during the show, I only get to help one person. So if you have a question, don't be afraid. Ask it while we're on air. We're going to take our time and mosey through this content. Okay, we're going to make sure that everyone is up to speed. Now, if you missed out on what I did last week, I'm going to be honest. Okay, it was an impromptu. It was a bit of a lazy show. I just kind of slapped something together. We talked about some news. We showed some pickups, but it was a good time. So if you're looking to fill in that time. Also, I've had people messaging me and say, Jay, I can't find your content. It's very, very easy, okay? Make sure you hit the subscribe button on this channel, okay? If you're on mobile, if you're on PC, it's going to be below this video right now. You'll get notified. If you want, there's a little bell icon right next to it. Click that bell and select notifications on all videos. Anytime I go live, you'll be notified when I'm going live. And sometimes I'll randomly go live. I might be at a swap meet, might be at a convention, might be at a yard sale. Sometimes I randomly go live. So if you want to check those out, definitely hit that notification bell and you'll be seeing all of that. Now, that's the best way to stay plugged into this content. But as I said, last week I did kind of a slap together show. And the reason is, I still really enjoy doing YouTube videos. I've just been so darn busy. I've been doing the census work. I got census devices all around me. They gave me a nice little iPad to use. They gave me a census phone. I'll even cover up my serial number. They gave me all this cool stuff to use to be able to do my job, but I got a crew of people that I'm managing. It's something like 60 people. And don't get me wrong, the money's fantastic. I'm bringing in like $1,000 to $1,500 a week, and I'm doing it from home now. And I'm doing it on the side. I'm still able to rack in like 40 plus hours a week without impacting my day-to-day eBay operation. We're going to be talking about revenue generation. We're going to be talking about quick growth, quick income, and some of the things that you may need to do to be able to ensure that those numbers keep coming in. And I don't know. I've been seeing some people with their rapid money growth. We talked a little bit about the unemployment thing before. We're going to have another talk on it today because it's really important. It's really important to me. But yeah, this is what's been going on. I've been working a lot, a whole lot, but things are going to start slowing down here. And as they slow down, I would like to return to doing this show on a semi-regular basis because it goes without saying, when I went from doing once a week to once every 2 weeks, I started becoming a little bit more disconnected from what was actually happening within the community, the pulse of the community. When I was doing it every single week, I was getting constant messages from people saying, hey, have you heard about this? Did you see that? You know, this is something I'd love if you could speak on. And every day I was reading the news for e-commerce. And as the market, I guess, started to shift a bit over the last month or 2 months. We saw increased prices with Mercari. We're seeing more people on managed payments. Amazon finally opened back up again. The market's just kind of becoming a little bit different, and it's not as, exciting to be on this side of the table anymore, because we went from a position where a lot of sellers were very much so in control of their business. And now we're kind of shifting more to we have to play by the rules that are given to us. So rather than me coming in here and talking to you about advantageous ways that we can really maximize our profits working within the platforms, I kind of have to talk with you about what you can do outside of the platforms, you know, the little bit of things that we have control over, like offers to buyers and effective sourcing. And when I do talk to you about the platforms, it's more of a rigid form. And you're going to see that here as we kind of cover some things. But I will still be, as always, venting my gripes about the platforms. And as the season comes to an end for the census, or saying it could be as early as the 19th of this month, as late as the end of next month. There's a trial happening on the 17th, which is 4 days from now, that is going to determine exactly what's going to be happening with that. And I'm ready to get fired. Okay. I love my work. I love what I do, but the quicker I get fired, the quicker I get to pick up unemployment. I know what you're thinking, Jay, how do you get unemployment? Well, believe it or not, they'll give it to you. Okay. They're giving it away to everyone. They're giving it away to like candy. Even those of you who are eBay sellers, those of you who haven't had a normal paycheck over the last year, guess what? You can get unemployment and they'll give it to you. And it's a stupid amount of money. And we're going to be talking about that here a little bit later as well. But as that work comes to an end, I'm going to be doing more YouTube, but I'm not exactly sure in what capacity. As I said before, I don't know if this is going to be the last year for this specific program, but I still want to continue to create content, but I don't know in what capacity yet. It could be fun. Who knows? You guys might like it, but I'm still working on this, and you'll see what I mean. But without further ado, let's talk a little bit about the news. And while we're doing that, let's go and take a hot moment. Let's go ahead and thank our patrons. We have a handful of them. Some of these people have left already. I'll be honest, I'm too lazy to take the time to update this thing right now. If you don't know, Patreon is a great way that you can help support. Wrong one. You can help support the show. Special thank you to Ashley, Brandy, Rob, Tina, and JRB for your continued high-level support of the show. It's people like those that were on screen just now that make it possible for people like me to be able to give information to people like you. If you'd like to help support the show, you can join Patreon. I put a link in the description. You can also use that super chat button, or you can provide a one-time donation at the email down below. First up, let's talk about the fall seller update. We have 4 key categories that we're going to be covering today. And again, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask them. The key categories are listing and promoting, shipping, fees and financial, and running your business. Now, we were talking earlier about eBay telling you how to run your business, but apparently they've given us some new tools that's supposed to help us run our business. But first off, listing and promoting. We have some category changes. Now, we talked about this a little bit earlier in the pre-roll. They are now getting rid of the Black Americana category. And I know it's a bit divisive here in America to have a category labeled Black Americana, and I think it's only getting removed in the Americas market. Now, if you want to do a little research, you can, but America is a little bit more woke, even though we are one of the most culturally diverse countries in the entire world. We're one of the few countries in the world where we cheer and clap and applaud for the opposing team when they come into the stadium, or the opposing wrestler when they enter the ring. We always support them, but this cultural melting pot cannot have the Black Americana category any longer, and now it's being changed over to other cultural collectibles. Now, the thing with this is, eBay has always talked about using categories to help buyers connect with the items that they're looking to buy. And by massing these items together, if anything, it's going to make it more difficult for consumers to find what they're looking for. And what happens when consumers can't find what they're looking for on this platform? They go to another one, and we've seen this happen many times before in the past. Now, even the Black Americana subcategories are being completely removed as well. So it's not just the parent category, it's all the subcategories down below. Now, if you thought that this category change on its own was foolish, whether you have cultural reasons behind it or not, just on a business standpoint, we've also seen the removal of categories like Pokemon Trading Card and Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading Card, which are 2 of the biggest categories for trading cards in the world, not just on eBay. And now they're being moved over to individual cards, mixed cards, sealed boosters, complete sets, etc., instead of having that parent tree. And Pokemon trading cards was a category that would regularly have millions of items inside of it, and now it's being branched out and split down into the other categories. I think it's nonsense because it's going to make it more difficult, unless, of course, we see sidebar refinement, which shouldn't be necessary when it comes to items like this. Okay, having it all under one umbrella was good for the collectibles category as a whole. Like I said, it made it easier for people to find what they're looking for. Now, as far as the sidebars refinements are concerned, we're talking about item specifics. Okay, little details, things like the shoe size, color, fit, model number, compatible with, etc. We have a new thing that they're rolling out called Required Soon. That's going to notify you of relisted items that will soon need more details. Okay. On top of that, they're also rolling out item-specific rankings, which is going to prioritize the importance of non-essential item specifics on your listings. So you might have a listing for, let's say, shoes. The shoes are absurd. You damn sneakerheads are making this so much more difficult for everyone else involved. I don't need 30 item specifics on a pair of shoes, but apparently knowing the material of the eyelet and the material of the shoelace and the material of the shoelaced end and the upper and the inner and the sole and the side and the outer material and all of these things, okay? They want every single item specific for these shoes, but now the non-essential ones they'll be putting in rank for you. But it's only a matter of time before non-essential becomes essential. And you're going to see a little bit of that here as we get a little bit further along, because we've already seen it historically. What have we seen over the last, 2, 3, 4 years now? Even 5 years ago, item specifics weren't really a thing. And then they kind of slowly integrated them in. Okay, they said, oh, we really just need the UPC and the item condition, and that's really about it. And then they started more and more, they want to know additional details on the items, and now some items have almost a dozen required item specifics to be able to list them. Don't get me wrong, okay, these item specifics are good for connecting your consumers to the items, but on a whole, man, can it be a little bit grindy if you have something that does not need help. Okay, certain items, you can look at the item and you can tell what it is, and it does not need, like cameras, for instance. We don't need 15 or 20 item specifics. If somebody's looking for a specific camera, specific model, they know what they're going to be buying. Okay, nobody should be going to eBay to figure out what they're going to buy. People should be going to eBay once they've already determined what they want to buy. And I think that's the fundamental difference between Amazon and eBay, is Amazon is somewhat of a site you can go to and make that decision on the site. You can say, man, I really want a nice mattress topper. And boom, here's 1,000 different mattress toppers with all of the different ratings on them and all the information that you need to know from the manufacturer about the specific ones. And you can see customer reviews and everything. I can go to Amazon to figure out my buying decision. I can't do that on eBay. And eBay needs to realize that that's not the game that they want to play, and item specifics is not how you play that game. Now you can edit your items specifics in bulk, either by downloading a CSV, or you can do it within the site. If you do the CSV option, you download it, you enter in all your fields into the spreadsheet. You can use Google Sheets if you don't have Excel, and you can re-upload that file to be able to edit in bulk, or you can do it online. There's also the Seller option, which is available to scan all of your listings, and this is still free till the end of the year. This is a third-party application that eBay has been working with. I do not truly understand why eBay is pushing so hard this Seller product. I also get the feeling that they're this far away from just absorbing the company, just buying them outright, and they may be using the average consumer now as a test market to see if there's going to be enough money there to justify doing that. But at the same time, I don't understand the need for somebody to sign up for a tool that's going to scan your listings and tell you what specifics are missing if eBay is going to do that for you anyways once the time comes. I'm not going to pay extra money to get a head start and figure out what item specifics I'm missing. Now, on top of this, we talked about some changes that were going to be due by September 9th, which was 4 days ago. We talked about business and industrial, electronics, home and garden, sporting goods, and watches. If you hadn't watched our previous episodes, you don't know the level of detail that they've included. Some are optional, some are mandatory, and if you haven't seen all those, there's quite a bit. So if you go to your seller hub, you should have a thing that says this amount of items require additional item specifics. You're going to want to make sure that you go through and you get that added to your listings. Now, as I said earlier, eBay has this really, really sneaky way of saying, oh, here's some information now, but get ready, there's more stuff that's going to be coming your direction in the future, and that is going to be happening in October. We're going to have more required item specifics. The categories are going to be business and industrial, electronic, clothes, shoes, and accessories. And you know what really upsets me? This is like the 5th time in a row they've added more item specifics to electronics. So we've got business, industrial, electronics, clothes, shoes, and accessories, health and beauty, home and garden, music instruments, and sporting goods. So if you have any items in those categories, which pretty much every single one of us does, then you're going to want to stick around in October, come back around when I'm doing the show still, and I'll talk with you about the item specifics that are going to be coming that way then. We also saw some updates to the Seller Hub. Now you're going to be able to download your sales and eBay fees data with a new listing sales report. And hopefully it's not as crummy as the last one, which only lets you do a month. You're going to be able to generate sales report based on predefined time frames such as the day, the month, last month, this quarter, and select a month-to-month or year-to-year comparison. Okay, I guess you can then. Good. Some of these things I just haven't read because I knew I was going to have to read them on air with you. Break down your sales by item price and shipping cost. Filter your sales chart in order to view sales with or without free shipping cost. And if you use promoted listings, you can check the percentage of sales coming from your campaign. And if I know anything about eBay, that percentage is going to be damn near 100. They're always going to find the way to get their cut. Now, they also made some changes to Terapeak. Terapeak is now going to cross-reference active listings within the search. Whoop-dee! This seems like one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of, because we used Terapeak to look at historical sales data. We want to see if things have actually sold for a specific price, what prices people have asked. Looking at active data is pretty damn useless because we can already go look at active data. And active data of what people are asking for today, sure, it can give you some guidance as far as pricing, but Terapeak is a tool for learning items value, okay, which is completely different than knowing how to price an item. Okay, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go watch that How to Price Anything video, and I walk people through how to do that. But Terapeak should focus on the old stuff. They also added item-specific search as well, and a thumbnail view of items. Now, this thumbnail view is pretty much the dumbest thing I've ever seen. They've taken what must be a 40 by 60 pixel image. It's yay big, It's the tiniest thing you've ever seen, and they feel like they're doing some type of benefit to the consumer by having that there, and you click and it just blows it out to like this, and it's almost indistinguishable of any type of item that you're going to be looking at. I know why they did it. They're trying to save on data space, but could have killed them to make the image a little bit larger. Last thing, they also added multi-user access. So if you have a friend who is working with your eBay account, or if you have somebody who is managing your eBay account on the back end, they can access Terapeak through your account as well. Now, what did I want to see with Terapeak? Does anyone remember what I've been asking for from Terapeak for the last 6 months, year, 2 years, however long eBay's been with them? Historical pricing. Why is this such a difficult thing for eBay to do? They have the data. I hope. Who knows? Maybe they've thrown it away, but I don't think they have. You want to know why I think that? Because they know they still have our old account data. They can still see the first item we bought 25 years ago. They can see it on our account. They can see what we bought, what we spent. They can see the first item we sold 25 years ago, what we sold it for, where it shipped to. They have the data. Okay? Share this data with everyone. We want to know 10 years back, 5 years back. I'll take 3 years worth of data. Give me 3 years worth of data on what items are worth. Give us the data. Okay? I think that there's many people out there who would gladly pay an extra $10 a month to be able to unlock 5 or 10 years worth of additional data. This is the only thing we really want from Terapeak. And I know there's some eBay people who do actually watch the show. This should be on the top of everyone's hit list when it comes to Terapeak. On top of that, they now have created automated offers to buyers. So you can automate the process. Now, if anyone watched my masterclass video on how to do offers to buyers, and I must say, my offers to buyers generated over $1,000 in a single day the other day. I sent out offers on 250 items, made an extra $1,000 that day. And I actually ended up doing $2,000 that day, but an extra $1,000 were strictly on items that I sent offers out on. Go back and watch that. You can really stimulate your sales. And I think, like I said, 250 or so items. Do not do automated offers to buyers. The convenience and time you get, you're trading off for the actual likelihood of converting a customer. And remember, the thing with offers to buyer that's really, really important to understand is that you only get one shot with each customer. Okay, so when it says, oh, you can send 3 offers, even though you have 21 watchers, that means that you've used up all those other watchers and they did not convert into sales. Okay, so you'll get one shot with them. Don't waste it with automation. Promoted listing, now with predictive suggested ad rates. Do you have any clue what that means? I don't really know, but let's find out.
Promoted Listings was made to work hard for you. We want to make sure you have the right tools to better manage your campaigns. Let's get going. Suggested ad rate is personalized just for you. It's based on a variety of factors that may include item attributes, seasonality, past performance, and current competition for each of your listings. Stay competitive by optimizing your ad rates often and checking weekly to stay on track. Suggested ad rate helps you save time. If you see recommended listings, that's a good place to start. It's personalized to you and is based on trends in the marketplace and historical performance. We've made it effortless for you to utilize this feature by improving the visibility of your items by sorting the recommended listings first and adding a quick filter which allows you to select your listings in bulk. Now let's show you some listing best practices you should use. Monitor and adjust your promoted listings recommendations as needed to stay competitive. Check back often to make the most out of recommended listings. Make sure your listings work hard for you by categorizing your items properly, pricing your items competitively, using a clear and descriptive listing title with relevant keywords, and adding a high-quality photo with a white background. You're all set to step it up. For more info, check out Seller Center or go to your dashboard from Seller Hub.
I'm going to be honest, I am not going to take eBay's advice on how I should be setting my ad rates. They've been doing suggested ad rates for a long time based on just purely market factors, but I really don't care for an example that is somebody who sold like 4,000 or some odd t-shirts. It was fine print, but it was a ton of t-shirts. I'm not going to use that as the benchmark for how I should do my business. Now, if you're a mega seller, mega volume seller, again, you shouldn't be using eBay to determine your ad rate. And secondly, you shouldn't be using eBay to sell your items in that way. If you have that volume that you're running, you have an ad specialist. You already have an advertising and marketing team that you work with. And trust me when I say this, they're not going to spend those advertising dollars on eBay. They're going to spend those advertising dollars off site. They're going to put them into Google. They're going to put them into Facebook. They're going to put them into Instagram. They're going to drive in off-site traffic. Okay, because if your item listing is perfect on eBay, I mean, you're pretty much playing the lottery there as to whether or not you're going to get seen, whether or not you're going to get pushed up to that front page. So generating off-site organic traffic where you can actually control the flow of the money, control the flow of that ad spend on the front end, a little bit of CPP action, that's going to be more valuable for you. So when it comes to doing promotions, just be really mindful of how you spend that money, because oftentimes you can be spending that money for nothing. As of right now, I have zero promoted listings on my site. And there's certainly ones that I would like to see a little bit more velocity, but that's the name of the game. I'm fine waiting it out. And my sales haven't suffered. I did 12 grand over the last 90 days with 0 promoted listings. So good, clean listings are always going to rank well. Just keep that in mind. Now, on another note, we're going to talk about shipping. Those of you who didn't know, UPS is coming to eBay. Now, some of you are already activated and some of you are not. Now, what I'm going to do, I made a note about this and thank you, Money from Mars, I appreciate that. I made a note of this on our Facebook page, and here is the link right here, pages.ebay.com/UPS savings. Okay, now on the actual site, it says you cannot use your existing UPS account, which is really, really weird. But if you follow that link across, you actually end up linking your own UPS account to your actual eBay account. And then when you purchase your labels, they run through there, and then you get invoiced out at the end of each month. It seems fine by me, and it also guarantees that you get the lowest rates on the site as well. Some people already have certain things set up within their UPS account. Maybe you've called in, you've negotiated a personal rate for yourself. Maybe the amount of volume that you're doing through UPS is going to garner you a special rate. Maybe you have another business, a brick and mortar business that you're already running that uses a UPS account, and because of your volume through that, you qualify for special pricing. This is going to be the link that you need to be able to pair your account to your actual eBay to be able to maximize your savings and be able to get the largest discount that you have qualified for. A lot of people have been asking me, is UPS going to be better for me than USPS? The short answer is no, most times. Okay, when it comes to small items, USPS is king. There's just no competing with USPS right now, and it just has to do with the the volume, the scale of USPS, access to mailboxes, yada yada yada. It's a beast that will not be tackled down anytime soon unless we see like privatized mail come around. But the real advantage of UPS is for larger items, and especially larger items that are going large distances. There is actually a new calculator that's on the eBay site that'll allow you to compare all three, FedEx, USPS, and UPS together at one time before selecting your label. And I believe that the toggle options might be available for some of you now and should be available if you follow that link and get yourself registered. Now, I'm not going to be posting this link to our Facebook. This is only going to be for people who are here during the show. If you do want to join our Facebook page, I'll go ahead and provide a link as well. It's completely free to be a member within our community, and I'd like to think I put up some cool posts every now and then, so definitely go check it out. Now, what is supported through here? Not every single option is going to be available. We're going to have UPS domestic services include ground shipping, overnight delivery, and second-day air. International services are not available at this time, but if you haven't listened before, you should be using simple export rate through Pirate Ship. And if it's not on your account, you must request it through the chat and tell them Jay from Bolorama sent you. On top of that, labels are going to be eligible to be made in bulk. Now, we also have another shipping change. We have USPS making a very interesting change on the site. I don't fully understand the reasoning behind this change, but historically, when you bought something, when you sold something on eBay, if it was $750 or more, you were required to get signature confirmation on the item. Okay, that's just the way they wanted to do it. Now they've changed it to where instead of it being the actual sale price of the item at $750, now it is the gross value of the sale. So if you sell an item for $720 and then the buyer pays $20 in shipping and then they pay, $15 in taxes and the total amount now goes over $750, now you're going to be required to get signature confirmation on that. And I think signature confirmation is like $5 to $8 now. I have no clue how much it is, but you're going to have to get it. You're required to. And eBay's statement is, adjust the price of your listing accordingly to absorb the impact of this additional cost. And, because that's how the market works, right? You can just pass 100% of the cost along to the consumer and you control the market. So your $750 lounge chair is now worth $760. All right. Now, obviously it doesn't work that way. So we're pretty much going to be absorbing that cost. I don't see anyone going through and adding $5 or $6 to each one of their listings. Yeah. But to give you the long story short, they said, if you do not buy it, you are more likely to lose your money back guarantee cases. Okay. Because you can say, I'm not going to. Okay. I'm not going to buy it. But you got it. Okay. If you don't, they'll put you out on the coals. They'll rake you over the coals, and you will lose those money back guarantee claims. Next topic, we're going to talk about fees and financials. That's another one of the key ones. Managed payments. Really interesting here, okay? Because sometimes we can read over some of the things, and I know a handful of you, like Darren, have read through this entire thing, but there's these little morsels of information that if you're either going through slowly or if you're kind of got a little bit of an evil mind like mine, you might catch it. It says, if you haven't received a notification yet, and this is regards to signing up for managed payments, if you haven't received a notification yet, there is no other action required at this time. I'm one of those people. I have not gotten the notification for managed payments, and we are in the middle of September now. We are notifying sellers whose current use of features and tools on eBay is compatible with managed payments. That's a little bit of an odd sentence. We are notifying sellers whose current use of features and tools on eBay is compatible with managed payments. So what does that actually mean? My interpretation of that, okay, is that the current tools and features that I am using, I sell coins, I sell pornography, I sell weapons, I sell all of these things that are fringy, gift cards, cruise tickets, whatever it might be, these fringy items that aren't capable of being sold on managed payments, I have on my account now. And I've talked about this for a while, and I said I think that they're trying to push back sellers who've historically sold those things to the back end of it to have less of an impact to eBay's bottom line. Because obviously some sellers are going to fall off, and some are going to fall off just because they can't sign up for managed payments. They cannot get a bank account. It's going to happen to some people, and it's going to be unfortunate. I'm probably going to say it's going to be less than half of a %, but it's going to happen. And then there's some people that their entire business is going to be coins, coins and adult goods, and they're just not going to be, or bullion, they're just not going to be able to operate on eBay with things the way they are. And if they don't ever change, then they're just never going to be able to sell on eBay again. So it's in eBay's best interest to say, okay, hey, we're going to wait on these people because why? We want more, give me more. Okay. They're going to say, we're going to wait on you. And when we just can't do anything with you, we're going to have to say goodbye to you then. But right now, just gimme, we want more of your money. So that's why I feel that we're seeing that pushback. So if you haven't been notified yet, you're part of the Cool Kid Club. And I said we had 2 phases so far, and I'm going to guess phase 3, you're probably going to see probably about a month from now. We're probably going to be looking at middle of October. I'm going to say probably October 15th is when you can expect the next wave of people to be brought on board. Now, one of the most shocking things to me is on the discussion of returns. Out of the entire seller update, this one thing really took me for a loop. It's not often that I read things in full, especially blocks of information as large as this, but I have to read it to you. It's a little bit scary. We've talked about returns for a long time. I do feel that this is truly the last nail in the coffin as far as being able to have control over your business, especially when it comes to the topic of returns. I feel that the floodgates are very, very soon going to be open for massive amounts of fraud and massive amounts of scamming. I've seen some new scams coming to the table, which is really shocking stuff. People sending sellers empty envelopes and empty boxes before they even initiate the return request. okay? Just so that they can have a track record of an item going back. It's absolutely bonkers what's going on. I've seen some return to sender scams going on too. People receiving items, stripping them, resealing them, return to sender, never got my item, USPS glitch, and getting like $1,000 laptops. And it's just bonkers. People working underneath of a certain threshold amount, people testing out new accounts and testing out what level of fraud they can get away with, doing things on eBay. And for the first time, I've seen PayPal cases being opened. I've gotten a volley of messages. Those of you who don't know, I'm going to put this out there right now. We offer a host. And when I say me, I mean me. It's just a thing I've always done. If you go to bowlerama.com, we offer a host of services to help stop fraud and scams. If you have somebody that's scamming you, if you have somebody leaving you bad feedback, if you're worried about your account as a whole, please reach out to me. This is what I get paid to do, is to help defend sellers against negative actions on their account. It's surprisingly cheap. If you're not willing to spend $100 to lift a negative feedback off your account, if you can't do it yourself, I'm telling you, you're going to lose more than $100 in your sales over the next quarter as that feedback sits there. But we'll talk about that another time. Let's talk about these returns. Beginning September 14th, 2020, eBay will automate the returns and refunds process for active managed payment sellers to align the seller experience across the eBay platform. I really hate this nonsense Fugazi BS talk that eBay likes to use. We want to unify and align the seller experience across the eBay platform. That means nothing, okay? They're basically saying we want the retail experience, but people got really upset and really salty when they said we want a standard retail experience here on eBay. And now they're saying we want to align the seller experience across the eBay platform. Automation of returns and refunds saves sellers time and enables them to process returns faster. This also enables a streamlined returns experience for buyers by providing them immediate access to return labels, if available, and faster refunds. So what is the not available scenario? The not available scenario is when an RMA needs to be provided. If you don't know what RMA is, don't worry about it. It's not going to affect you. Those who do, there's your answer. There are 2 changes to the current returns process for managed payment sellers. Now remember, this is just managed payments, and I don't know why people aren't like rioting in the streets in front of eBay HQ right now. Don't forget, they built that giant fence around the HQ because there was an incident at the office. They spent millions of dollars building this massive fence, okay? But I don't understand why people aren't in an uproar. I'm surprised there isn't a class action lawsuit. I mean, obviously we accept the TOS every single time it comes along because they kind of got us and we have to keep doing business. But remember when managed payments first came along, they say, hey, come try managed payments. We'll give you this discounted rate. If you qualify, we'll get you a special promo rate. It'll stay with you in perpetuity. And then like, nope, get that out of here. And they said, hey, just come to managed payments. You'll be able to do everything the exact same way again. Just like before, you'll be able to sell everything that you sell now. And like, nope, take that away. You can't sell all the same stuff. And now they said eBay is going to operate the exact same way for managed payment sellers as it is for everyone else. No worries. No worries, you're going to have the same experience. And now they're saying, nope, we're going to screw with your returns. This only affects managed payment sellers. So if you're on managed payment, this affects you now, and people like me, it will affect me later, okay? Which I think is really despicable. In most cases, we will automatically accept return request and provide a return shipping label to a buyer wishing to return an item if an eBay label is available. Once received, sellers will have 2 business days to review the returned item and issue a refund or ask eBay to intervene. If no action is taken, eBay will automatically issue a refund 2 business days after the tracking number shows a confirmed delivery status. At that time, we will close the return with no impact to seller performance. So, let me give you a breakdown, okay? I sell this, let's find something more valuable. I sell this lovely cell phone to somebody on eBay. They get the phone. They say, hey, I don't like it. It's not as described. There's an extra scratch on the screen. They say, I want to return it. And they go in, boop, 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 boop. They get issued a label immediately. Immediate label. No chance to speak with them. No chance to resolve it. And this is something that's bothered me with the free returns thing before. And me and Mike, we've gone back and forth on this topic a few times, that I like the advantage of being able to not only negotiate with the person if I need to, but to be able to build a strong defense and to be able to really cover my own ass. I haven't had to take a return back in years, okay, because I'm always covering my ass and making sure that I don't have to have somebody take advantage of me. or take advantage of the system or change their mind and try and get away with something. And I fight for people all the time. Rachel's going to put up a post this week. Me and her went back and forth with a customer. They did an eBay case. They went and did a PayPal case, and we slammed it. We got them both closed out for her. Okay. So the customer gets their label. They get, shockingly, like 60 days to return the item right now. 60 days after they get their automatic label, they get to return it back. And it's of their choosing. There's no penalty right now due to COVID for how long they have to wait. They get 60 days, they send the item back. Now, let's say I am on vacation, okay, and I'm not home for 3 days. Or let's say, because USPS is the most unreliable hunk of junk out there right now, that item gets to my hub, and for some reason or another, it just shows it's delivered to my house and I don't have the item here. And then 3 days passes. The buyer will automatically get their money back. Okay? Automatically. It's theirs. So they're running on a 60-day timeline. And this is what we talked about before. The imbalance between buyers and sellers. Okay? The buyer has 60 plus days, 60 plus the 14 or 30 days. They get 30 days to decide there's an issue with the item. 60 days after they get the label, and we get 2 business days to resolve it from there. Okay? How is this normal at all? This change will shorten the processing time of the return, help sellers manage returns more efficiently, and reduce the likelihood of defects should the buyer ask eBay to step in to help with a case. Reduce the likelihood of it because eBay won't have to step in because you're just giving them the damn label. Why is eBay going to have to step in? Returns will automatically be accepted for all returns with the exception of remorse returns outside the seller's specified return window. Return reasons, arrived damage or missing parts or pieces. For the returned reasons, sellers will have the opportunity to review and approve the return, enabling them to handle the issue directly with the buyer. For all other return reasons, the new auto accept or auto refund process is as follows. Buyer requests a return. When an eBay label is available, eBay issues a return label to the buyer to ship the item back to the seller. The seller has 2 days to inspect the returned item and issue a refund to the buyer. eBay will track the delivery of the returned item. If tracking shows the returned item has been delivered to the seller, but the seller has not yet issued a refund to the buyer, eBay will automatically issue the refund after 2 days. eBay top-rated sellers and sellers who offer free returns can now offer partial refunds of up to 50% if the item is returned in condition different than when it was shipped. Sellers can continue to control the efficiency of their returns by creating rules in return preferences to automatically approve returns or send immediate refunds without requiring the buyer to send the item back. I have so much nasty things to say right now about this. The fact that they would even state that there's options to automatically set on automatic refunds within your preferences is just shocking to me. That's more of a China thing that you see happen. I'm really surprised to see that here. We've talked before about the free returns process and how you can offer a partial. You can offer 50%. I'm going to tell you right now that's going to be contested. But here's the thing, okay? All of that stuff said at the beginning is to get you really fired up and real angry and worked up. And then when you see a little bit of a reprieve, you're like, oh, I can just give them half the money back. Okay, what do I have to do for that? You have to offer free returns. Okay, and no one wants to offer free returns because nothing worse than getting boned once is getting boned twice. Okay, because you're going to be paying for that shipping in both directions. But the whole idea is that we're slowly going to scoot people closer and closer and closer and closer to where free returns seems like a good thing. And if you don't do free returns, you're going to be stacking on these penalties and stacking on this risk that you never had to stack on before. This is where I get upset because, like I said, we are losing so much control over what we can do. So I'm here and I'm telling Mr. Exquisite says this is why I have RMA turned on. Then at the very least, it's not automatic. And if you wouldn't mind posting up something within the main page so other people can find that resource, I need to turn it on myself, but I appreciate you putting that out there. We shouldn't have to talk about deceptive tricks to try and game eBay's system. I would rather be more focused on offering returns to people who genuinely need returns. If somebody messages me and I've screwed up, 100%, I'll take care of you. And I'm not saying I won't take a return because every single customer is wrong. I am saying I have accepted every return I am responsible for, but I have not accepted any returns I am not responsible for, just to clarify. Okay, I care about the consumer and I want them happy. People will win returns against me when they are right. Okay, you don't hear me talk about those because there's nothing to say. I had a casserole dish get shattered the other day, $50 right back, and then I get this stupid letter. I got a stupid letter from UPS, and I think I even threw it away. They want me to go to a UPS or USPS location with the shattered casserole dish, the internal box, the external box, and all of the packaging that I used. Okay, that's what they said. So they want me to pay to ship it back, and then walk it into a location to see if I qualify for that return. Then dumbest thing I've ever seen, and I'm not going to do it. So I'm trying to do an appeal online. But like I said, we're losing a little bit more control of our store. But I don't know. Kind of got to roll with it. Like I said, they got us right now. In other news, though, moving on from the returns, let's talk about a different thing. Is anyone out there selling $7,500 plus watches? $7,500 plus watches? Anyone? I'm not, but eBay felt that it was such an imperative thing to showcase their new service. Fees for watches have gone down. If you have sold, they give this example. I love this example. Okay, if you sold a $10,600 watch previously, your fee would have been $478, but now it's only $406. Really enticing you, right? So why is this? Now, of course, you join the J speculative train. We're going to go on a ride together. Why is this? Why would eBay do this? Okay, well, in my opinion, it's because they've lost market share in hyper-specific categories time and time again for the last 2 to 3 years now. Etsy, Posh, there's all the sneaker websites that are cropping up. And remember, they were doing fee-free on sneakers, still are, over $75, $150, I don't even remember, okay? I feel that they're afraid they're going to lose their watch market share to another competitor, because it would be a very easy category to strip away. So what they've done is they've offered authentication on watches. For those of you who are selling watches, if you caught the video already, then go get yourself a snack, use the bathroom or something. But here's a little bit more about what eBay is doing with watches. I think it's interesting. It's not going to apply to everyone, but it could be something that we might see in other categories. So it's worth a watch.
Buying a watch without ever holding it in your hand requires a serious level of trust.
That's right, which is why we've launched eBay's Authenticity Guarantee, a service that uses independent experts to inspect and verify every watch sold over $2,000 in the US.
Hi, I'm Charath Kamdar, the head of luxury at eBay.
And my name's James Hendy, the head of authentication at eBay.
As a connoisseur of watches, I get really excited about our luxury offering. eBay sold over 2 million watches last year. That's a watch selling every 5 seconds, from brands like Rolex, Panerai, IWC, Omega, all in one place. That is what really sets us apart. For this process, we partnered with leading industry experts whose services and capabilities have been thoroughly vetted. James, can you tell us a little bit more about the authentication process?
Of course. So when a watch $2,000 or over is purchased on eBay, it is sent directly from the seller to our authentication facility. When the package arrives, we first give each watch a unique barcode and enter all the information into our tracking system. Then, one of our expert authenticators performs a visual inspection of the watch before removing the bracelet and capturing the serial number. Next, they perform a multi-point inspection, examining the case, dial, lume, bezel, hands, crown, end links, case back, bracelet or strap, and movement, verifying that each component inspected is authentic and matches the eBay listing. After verifying its authenticity, we reinstall the bracelet and get the watch ready for the buyer. The best part is that eBay covers the entire cost associated with the authentication service.
James, do you think you can dive right in and do this process yourself?
I'm not so sure about that, Tarath. I think I need to stick to my day job.
The authentication partners are leaders in their industry, with years of experience, brand-certified watchmakers and technicians using advanced technical equipment in a state-of-the-art facility. After a watch is authenticated, it comes with a certificate of authenticity and a really beautiful box to store it in. If your watch comes with the original packaging and papers, you will receive those instead.
Our mission is to make sure that nobody ever buys a fake watch on eBay.
Finding watches eligible for the Authenticity Guarantee service is quite simple. As you're browsing eBay, just look for the Authenticity Guarantee badge. It's a blue check mark that you will find on every watch $2,000 or higher.
Now what are you waiting for? Time to go find your next luxury watch.
$2,000 or more. $2,000 or more. I don't think I have ever been in possession of a watch worth $2,000 or more, but thanks eBay, I appreciate that. I guess they're going to be able to cover the cost of that on their fee structure, but yeah, hopefully that helps somebody. Now, they also did some updates on running your business. Those of you who are watching this later, Jane Miller left a comment saying they're competing with RealReal when it comes to this type of watch. And I countered and I said, RealReal is a bit of everything. What percent of their volume do you think is watches? And she said they do a lot of jewelry and designer goods, but I have sent them watches in the past. This is basically the same process. So thank you so much for shedding a little bit of light on that. I didn't know that they had an internalized process for authenticating watches, but that's kind of cool. Now, moving on to running your business, we have a new time away functionality, which acts like vacation mode with a few key differences. Now, those of you who didn't know, and did I fight furiously with some of Ryken's viewers, vacation mode does not mean that you do not have to ship your packages. Okay? If you say, I'm going to be gone for a week on vacation mode, and something sells and you have 1 day handling, 2 day handling, it sells at the beginning of your vacation, you must ship that item. You must still ship it. Vacation mode was only a notification to the buyer that there may be a delay in their shipment. That's all it was. You were still responsible to ship. And I fought tooth and nail with some people about this. But now we have the new feature called Time Away, which is a revamped vacation mode. Okay, the key differences on this one is you can hide your listings faster. With vacation mode, it could take 3 days sometimes to have your listings pull themselves from the site. Thank you so much, buddy, for posting that. Now with this function, you can hide your listings within 1 to 2 hours, or you can choose to keep them up. It's entirely up to you. You no longer will have to adjust your handling time, because what we did historically is we would just do bulk editor tool. We'd bring up 500 listings at a time. We would change our handling from 1 day or 3 day to 7 or 14 days, depending on how long we'd plan on being gone. And then those of us who were going to be gone for like a week, when it got back down to like 2 days, we would even re-log in, change our handling to 2 days. Last day, change our handling back down to 1 day, and then return home and do all our packaging on the way out the door. But you're not going to have to do that any longer. You'll also be able to schedule in advance when you plan on going on this vacation mode, which is kind of convenient. If you know, hey, I'm going to be gone this day and this day, I want my listings to hide on those days, or I want to let eBay know when those listings are going to be coming back again, or when I'm going to be coming back, so when I can send those out. On top of that, it's not just for store owners either. Previously, vacation mode was only for store owners, which made no sense because it wasn't even that great to begin with. On top of that, you're also going to receive negative feedback protection for shipping related reasons when it comes to using the time away functionality. But my question, I haven't seen anyone else ask, why is this not available for all sellers regardless of whether or not they're using the time away functionality or not? Shouldn't all sellers be protected against negative feedback for shipping related reasons? If I've shipped my item on time, okay, and the item is late to get there because of a USPS issue, should I not be protected from getting that negative feedback? I don't understand why this is relegated to time away sellers. If anything, why shouldn't I just set my entire store to time away every single day? Why should I not just put it on every single day? Then all of my sales are protected from shipping costs or bad feedback due to shipping. I mean, you could, right? You do not have to give, or you do not have to ship within the stated handling time, but a realistic seller window will now be given to the buyer. So if you tell your time away functionality that you're going to be gone for 3 days, the handling time will be adjusted within the listing to be more realistic to what the buyer can expect. Kind of neat. So now that's going to be the tool moving forward. If you want a dedicated video on that, let me know. We can break it down. We have a few other small changes. Multi-user access now comes with two-factor authentication, which I was kind of surprised it wasn't there to begin with, but it's going to make your account a little more secure when other people are using it. New proxy email addresses are going to be used under the guise of reducing phishing attempts, but this is more likely to stop off-site deals. eBay has never been a fan of sellers being able to communicate directly with buyers. They've always wanted it done through their messenger, and then this is going to be a new means of cracking down even harder on that. I do want to say, if you want to communicate with your buyer directly after a transaction has been done, your best bet is just to include a note within the package when you send it out. Do not try and circumvent the message system. You can get suspended for it. It's pretty annoying. Yeah, so that's pretty much the whole summary there. Like I said, in all, everything together, that's how they say it, right? Nice smooth transition. We're going to continue to fight to keep control over our business, and I've said this for a long time. I can't wait for a good competitor to come along. I thought Mercari might have been that. In all honesty, I don't think it is. I think Mercari is turning into a bit of a dumpster fire now. We're seeing a lot of RA. We're seeing a lot of garbage sellers coming to the platform and leaving. We're seeing a lot of people who have not been formally trained on how to properly sell, trying to make it. And it's going to be a matter of time before a good majority of buyers are going to be dissuaded from using Mercari ever again. On top of that, Shopify isn't going to be a good enough option, and we know that. There's a lot of people just simply can't do that to be able to continue to maintain their business, and the good old days of eBay seem to be long gone. It's just a shame. Hopefully something better will come along, and yeah, I mean, even Mercari, I don't know if we talked about this before, but they added their 3% to their transaction fee, and we liked Mercari because it was flat rate. It's 10%, and I was fine paying 10%. Everything was said and done. I was paying 7% plus 3% transaction. That's how I kind of chalked it up. But now it's 10% plus 3%. I'm paying 13% now to sell on the site. And I wouldn't be as upset because this is the old eBay rate. But it's really, really close to eBay, and I don't feel they've earned the right to charge that much. I'm happy for them for scaling. I'm happy that they have so many sellers, but this will be the start of the end for them, in my opinion. And if they don't get their shit together and they don't start providing customer service, they're going to be in a lot of hot water here soon. There's just not They don't have enough manpower right now for the amount of money they're making, and it's exceptionally disappointing that you can't get somebody on the phone, you can't get email responses within a timely manner. It's just real sad to see. In other tiny news, we have eBay expanding into France, Italy, and Spain for managed payments starting in 2021. And this brings me to my big old question. I know Jane Miller is going to want to know this question's answer as well. When the hell is China going to get on managed payments? China is one of the biggest suppliers of goods on eBay right now, and that's where the money is, but I don't think they're ever going to make them do it. And there's a lot of rumors going around right now that China will never have to go to managed payments. And I can see why. I understand why. But we're not going to go into detail on that right now. But, there's certain people, some of you guys are following, some of you aren't. But I don't know. Ask yourself, why isn't China on managed payments? And when, if ever, is that going to be happening? eBay's celebration also occurred, and they gave veteran account holders a $25 coupon, which is nice, I suppose. It can only be used on purchases over $25, can't be used on auctions, can't be used within certain categories. It's kind of a kick in the junk, if you ask me, because I didn't get one. I've been a seller for 18 years on the site. I guess that wasn't long enough. I know some people who have a historic buyer accounts who've never sold anything who got their coupon, which was a little bit shocking. And I've said this before. Why not send us something nice? Okay, we're supposedly getting shirts in the mail, but for veteran sellers, oh my gosh, give them something to really commemorate their achievement of being on the site selling for 25 years. Give them something amazing. Don't just give them a damn coupon. It's just it's really sad to see. I don't know, what feels almost a little bit like disrespect to me. But yeah, that's all the news. Does anyone have any questions about the updates? If not, we're going to transition over and we're going to take a look at some pickups on the week. Give everyone a hot moment here. Thank you to those of you who have stuck around. Like I said before, if you want to help support this content, click on the Patreon link. Help support us out with what we do. Group chat is worth every single cent. Now, I do want to say this. I have been working on some stuff for the show. There's things that I've had on the back burner for a while. I get these to-do lists. I use Post-it notes, and I make these to-do lists every single day. Every morning I wake up and I make a new one. And then I also have these master to-do lists, which are all of my big project things, all the big things that I want to get done that have to get done. Sometimes it's repairs around the house. Sometimes it's building digital assets. Sometimes it's finally taking that trip to a certain place to do some sourcing, whatever it might be. But one of the things I was working on was new assets for the show, and I wanted to create very simple, nice, cute splash animations that would lead us from one segment to the next. I didn't have the one for the news ready yet because they do take a lot of time to make. I don't hire somebody to make these. I make them myself. And if you've never made one, they take a little bit of work. Okay, so here's the pickups one, just so you can kind of see it as we transition into the next segment. It's that time, guys. I got a bunch of items today at the swap meet. Not a bunch. We only got about an hour and a half in. Those of you who don't know, our state is on fire, and we have a politician in charge who doesn't know what he's doing. And there's also a pandemic occurring. So we were only able to stay out there for about an hour and a half before it just got a little bit too spicy for us to be out there. And I got a comment last week. Somebody said they did the face palm because I said Gavin Newsom is an idiot. And I mean, counter me. I challenge you. Prove me that I'm wrong on that one. But those of you who live in California, you have to understand we can't even go to a restaurant to sit down and enjoy a meal right now, but we can have 500 people inside of a Walmart at one time. I don't get it. I don't get why Walmart's okay, but my local barber is not. It just blows my mind. So we're going to take a look at some of the items I got today. I haven't even listed these yet. This hat right here, this is a nice hat. I couldn't find the exact comp on it, but it says Hawaii's Finest on the back. Sorry, I heard some loud noise. It's Hi brand or I don't even know. But yeah, really nice hat, neoprene, really high quality. I don't know what it's worth. The reason I bought this hat is because this was the same person that I got the Harry Potter set from, and the same person that I got the Puzz 3D New York puzzle. Those of you know, I sold that Puzz 3D puzzle for like $300. I paid $7 for it. And that Harry Potter stuff, which is appraised at somewhere in the area of like $3.5 grand, I paid like $10 for that. So I was just looking for anything I could buy off the guy. And I grabbed this hat and I handed him $40. And I said, hey, we did really well on one of the items we got from you last week. I just wanted to give you a little extra. I'll go and give you $40 for this hat. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, you talked to me about your daughter. Go take your daughter out to dinner. Okay. And if we do move some of those Harry Potter pieces, I do plan on giving them some more because those Harry Potter pieces are absolutely bonkers how much they're worth. So yeah, so I got this hat. I think I'm going to get probably $20 plus for it. I did see one comp that was around 30, but I couldn't find anything active on it. But if you've ever seen one, let me know. It would be really helpful. But I can also check Terapeak if need be. It's so hot out there. We put these ice packs. I don't know if I told you. We put them on our head, and then we put a hat over the top of that just to keep ourselves cool. I didn't have my correct backpack this week either, so we got this really flippy floppy backpack. I did not get much today. Man, I thought I got a lot more than that, though. Oh, sorry. Different compartments. Another ice pack. I got a pretty valuable calculator, and I'll be honest with you, that does not happen often for me. And I've tried many a times to find valuable calculators. This is a Texas Instrument TI 59 programmable calculator. I'll be honest with you, when we talk about categories that are going to eventually die, programmable calculators are going to be one of those ones that when it crashes, it's going to crash really, really, really hard. I'm going to probably give this category probably about 10 years because this is the collectible for the emerging technology era. So people who were born in, I would probably say the 50s, 60s are the ones who are collecting this type of goods because they grew up with these, types of devices when they were in their 20s. It's basically people who did programming, BASIC and C+ and all that stuff way back in the day who gravitate towards these types of collectibles. But that category will completely dissolve here within the next 10 years. So when you do get items like this, price them to sell, get them cleaned up, tested, and get them out the door. I paid $1.50 for this, and this has a sale price of anywhere between $125 and $155. Depends on condition, if it's going to work completely. I haven't tested it out, obviously, but even this back battery door has a list price of $40 right now. So I know I'm in the money one way or the other. I will say, based on the density of this back plate, because you can kind of tell sometimes based on this density back here, I'm going to assume that these batteries have blown out on the inside, plus they're probably 30 years old at this point. No year on it. Assembled in USA. But yeah, it feels like they're blown out, so this is going to take a little bit of work to get up and going. I'm probably going to commit 30 minutes to restoration and repair, and then try and go for full price if possible, but I will not refuse any good offer on it. I was just hoping maybe it might turn on, but that'll be something to keep your eyes open for. We'll talk more about that as it sells. I got this. I didn't even look this up. This was at the same booth that I got the Texas Instruments calculator at, and I was just looking for something else to bundle with it. And we have some slides, educational slides, and I don't know if they're worth a damn thing, but I thought for $1.50, I really can't go wrong. I've never seen these things be cheap. This is a really crummy looking case, so they might be cheap, but worst case scenario, it's something cool to look at $1.50. Maybe I'll use it as a decor piece in the back. Maybe somebody off Mercari will buy it. People are homeschooling right now. Maybe it'll be good. I don't know. And then today I also picked up 2 video games. We got True Crime New York for the PlayStation 2. Fun fact, this game cannot be beaten. I think on the Xbox 360 version, Xbox 360 version, there's a glitch. You can't finish the game. This one complete with the original manual. Actually, I forgot to check the disc, but it's a pretty reputable seller. Great looking disc, and I got a machine. This sells for $15 right now. Not a big hitter, but I paid $2.50 for it. And then I also got it with this one. This is the reason why I pulled the trigger. This Middle-earth Lord of the Rings game, I learned this from Daniel. This is a consistent $40 to $60 seller year-round. People love this game. And I may even play it. Man, those graphics on the back look amazing. That actually looks like it might be fun. So I kind of get the appeal of it. But yeah, easy pickup, paid $2.50 for it. The guy who I bought it from, he knows what I do for a living. He has his YouTube channel as well. He told me that his son was going to be in here. I told him I'd give him a shout out. Still don't see him this week. If you're here, leave a comment. I'll get it approved at some point in the after the video ends. But yeah, great pickup. He's like, yeah, I'll watch later and then I'll see how much money you're going to make. And he was completely well aware that I was going to profit off of him. And he understood. I guess he would rather it go to me than somebody else. But yeah, easy $40, $50 profit on this one. Mr. Exquisite says, I am playing that right now. The True Crime New York. That True Crime has a cult following to that game. Those are the items that I got at the swap meet today. We're going to take a look at a few other items. A little bit of everything down here. So the items that we're going to look at are items that I currently have listed already because I'm front loading my work. And these are items that I got from my friend who said, I'm just going to donate all this stuff unless you want it. We got some Fruit Baskets DVD. Anime is a great seller. There is a lot of it that's worthless though. I will say that. Just remember with DVDs, you can't ship a media mail, so it does kind of help with the margins. But yeah, this is like a $15 or $20 anime set. Definitely keep your eyes peeled for good anime. Even if you don't know anything about it, generally speaking, the racier the better. I also got this really nice Coach bag as well, and she was just going to donate this to the store. If you ever go to the store and you see Coach bags and you wonder why is there a Coach bag in here, it's because people just go through and they donate them. And it's completely authentic. It's really good shape. This one's listed for roughly $100. A brand new one like this goes for about $210. I've seen used ones sell for as high as about $140, but this one has a light bit of condition on the interior of the handle, so I reduced the price just a little bit. I hate dealing in handbags. One, because I'm horrible at authenticating them. Two, they're a pain in the ass to take good pictures of. And lastly, you really have to be specific on the condition because it's very subjective. So I don't know. I don't want to deal with a return on it, but I think everything should be fine with it. I normally won't go buy them because they ask exorbitant premiums, and most times it's really not worth it. The number of handbags I'll look up before I actually convert on one is insane. And the same thing's true of the calculator that we were talking about a second ago. Okay, generally speaking, I won't look up most calculators at this point. There's a handful I do know, but most vintage calculators are worthless or not worth enough to actually justify listing. It's the same way that I categorize dolls, the same way that I categorize most tin lunch boxes at this point. They're just not going to be worth the money. For me, calculators, it's about 1 in 40, 1 in 50 is actually going to be worth doing something with. If you can look it up in 60 seconds, you're kind of going to make your time and trouble and money after you found one after 40 or 50 attempts. She also had this lovely Hello Kitty bag. These Hello Kitty handbags are surprisingly abundant online, and there isn't a huge market of potential buyers for it. So this was listed up for 40 bucks. That one actually went to Mercari. Got a couple of cute plushies as well. These are microbead filled, the little squishy, foamy beads on the interior. Those are going to sell for probably around 20 bucks each. It's really cute Vans hippo handbag. Just kind of screams, you know, that scene kid type era apparel. Really cute. I think I have this listed for $50. The backpack sells for a similar amount of money, but this is a very, very hard style to find. I think they stopped producing this one like early 2000s. So really good condition too on the interior as well. Yeah, nice cute bag. If you're interested, let me know. Did find a few items at the thrift store this week as well. These are thrift store items that we picked up. Got a copy of Age of Empires 2. This is another surprisingly valuable game. And I am thrilled because I didn't even say this. We have a brand new thrift store that just opened literally walking distance from my house. And I could not be happier. Lovely lady, willing to buy directly from me because I told her we're going to have a yard sale. If you're interested in my leftovers, I'll sell them to you for cheap. She's willing to buy from me. She has tons of media, tons of books. I'm not going to tell anyone about this place. Daniel hasn't even been there yet either. I was just driving by and I saw it and popped on in. We did great there. Absolutely crushed it. But this is one of the items we got. I think I paid about $1.50 for it. This sells consistently for $35 to $40. Also got this. Need for Speed Rivals for PS4. I think I was into this for about $2. And then at a different thrift store, we picked up this beautiful, and I say we, mean the beautiful girlfriend, picked up this beautiful leather-bound Peter Pan Barnes & Noble edition book. And this is about a $20 book. We paid $2.99 for it. As a hardcover bulk rate, $2.99. So, nice pickup. While we were out thrifting, we also got this really cute Hawaiian collectible brand bear. And I normally don't go after these kitschy bears, but this one's really, really well made. It has a necklace around it. It has this, this is a, I don't know, stoneware, porcelain. Yeah, it's got that ting to it, but really well built, really well produced. These do not sell on eBay. I just want to state that right off the bat. No one is buying these things on eBay, and when they do, they're paying like $4 or $5 free shipping. This bad boy went straight to Mercari. We're asking $20 over there, and I'm hoping it sells, and if it doesn't, it'll go out at the next yard sale. This only cost me $2 though, but the build quality was so fantastic, I couldn't say no at $2. I'm sure somebody will buy it. We also picked up this really cute Laplander hat. If you don't know what a Laplander is, it's the kind with the tassels here at the bottom. It's also a type of culture of people as well. But it's Pikachu, good old Pikachu. It's official. It's Pokemon. It has the internal tag as well. I think we're asking right around $20 on this, but you can find comps for much less. But my photos are really, really good. And we threw it up onto Mercari, and we're hoping that we get full price on that at $20. It's in great condition. A lovely little piece. Also, when I was at that new thrift store, I got this really nice Panama Jack hat. And I'm thinking about keeping this because I was at the swap meet today and my hat just is not cutting it. There is no ventilation through the top, but oh no, it's a little too small for me. But man, I would keep that bad boy. And I do wear one of these when I'm at the swap meet. Mine is much larger than this one, but I don't got the vents. I need the vents because it's so darn hot out there. But I'm just trying to, you know, not die as it is. $20 bill on this for a used hat. I think I paid $2 for it, maybe $3. The Panama Jack hats do go up into the 50s and 60s, depending on how ornate they are as well. And then I got some of these. repeating lead stackable pencils. Some of you guys might remember these from when you were a kid, but they're the little pencils that have the lead on top and the eraser, and then when one lead ends, you take it off the top and you put it in the end, and then another one comes out. Here, I'll show you. If you've never seen one for some reason. So there's your writing implement, and then this one pulls off. You put it in the butt end, and then you press it through, and then there's your next lead. And kids love these things. The other ones, I don't know why this one's all green. Maybe some kid just sat here and restacked all these ones. It's a possibility. But yeah, they're kind of neat. I paid $6 for the entire box. I don't know how I'm going to do on them. I'm going to be honest with you, because they are new old stock, and there might be an application for somebody to be able to buy these. I have them listed for $100. I would genuinely take $45 or $50 on them, but they're kind of hard to come by in specific styles. I also noticed somebody who's selling Pokemon or Pikachu ones, and I put in a bid on those because I'll drag those right to a convention. And they have a count of 50, and they're asking like $30, which I think is a good price if you're going to flip them out at a convention. You could ask $3 a piece on them all day, and you can triple your money up. Mike T coming in hot with the $10 super chat says, thanks for the great info on the seller update. Here's another bag of Doritos for you. I think he just wants to see those hot feet in the picture again. But thank you so much, Mike. I do appreciate it, buddy. And we're gonna have a talk about money here in just a second, and why, even when I'm doing successful as a seller, it's so important to continue to ask people to support this show, because I know it sounds like I'm a bit crazy when I do, but it's going to get really wacky here in a second. So thank you so much for that, Mikey. I don't understand how important that is that we get that help. So thank you so much. And if you see anything you like, buddy, don't be afraid to ask. Okay, like I said, you can always buy stuff off me at cost if there's something that you want. You want that hat? I'll sell you that hat for $2, and I'll even cover the shipping for you as well. We had a couple of interesting ones here too. This is again stuff that my friend was just going to donate. This is a best ever, I think that's what the name. Yeah, best ever brand zebra. And these have sold for $20 before in the past. This isn't something that I would probably buy at a thrift store for $4, but if I get it for free, I'm certainly going to list it. I took really good pictures of this. I'll let you know when that one sells. It's going to be an interesting one. It goes without saying that her and her family are fairly rich. The things that they're donating are really nice, in great condition. This was a memento from one of her trips to Universal Studios. It's a Lard Lads donut from The Simpsons. It's a water bottle. These sell in this condition, which I marked as new. It's never been filled with anything ever. I'm going to ask $20 on it. They do consistently sell around $15, which is great. And then she also gave me a Game Boy Advance, and it had a handful of games. One of the games was a Mario game. And the Game Boy Advance she gave me is flawless. Look at that screen. Flawless screen on there. Okay? These Game Boy Advances right now, in good condition, the console alone is selling for over $50. 50 American dollars for one of these. And the reason why I'm so shocked and awed by that is when I first started my game store, over 9 years ago now, these were consistently sold at my shop for $15. And even when I left, I was the most expensive place in town, but you would get a brand new screen, you would have clean contacts, and we would give you a 1-year warranty on your console. We still sold them for $35, and it blows my mind they're that high now. So I'm running an auction on this. Opening bid, $50. You get the 4 games with it as well. You also get this really nice traveling carry case, and there is 2 batteries in here. I cannot get out because the zipper is broken. So I've included that in the description as well. Really wish there was some Pokemon games there, but for a console that's that clean, and I even put in the description, this is an original screen. This came from a female who most likely put about 20 hours worth of play onto it. You're not going to find a better original screen anywhere on eBay right now. And I didn't even clean the thing. That's how it came. We also got some cool anime stuff. We got this Hello Kitty beret. Really cute. It does have a little bit of light discoloration on the inside. It's a one-size-fits-most type setup. Very cute. We're going to ask, I think, $40 on that item. I can't remember off the top of my head. Got this really cute My Melody brand piggy bank. My Melody is something that you might want to keep your eyes open for. It's part of the Sanrio umbrella. And believe it or not, a surprisingly high number of My Melody piggy banks have sold over the last 90 days. I think it's almost a dozen of them. I was shocked. I would have never thought that. And then on the topic of piggy banks, we also got this one, really cute Jasmine. She was a big Disney fan, and she was downsizing her entire Disney collection. Got a little slot there in the back, and then a little hole there on the bottom. This sells for about $30. I would have thought it would be a little bit more just because of its age. We also have this Jasmine, which is a surprisingly hard one to find. Find me this Jasmine with the gold shoes. You go on eBay right now, I am the only one that I could find that has the gold shoes and the original tag. Well, I think I'm asking $40 on this one because it's so difficult to get. And remember, this is all stuff she was just going to donate. We've got this Excel Saga hat. This is an anime. It's about a $25 hat. Very shocked by that. We have this black and white Donald Duck. Very tricky to sell. Only a couple have ever sold. But I'm going to be asking $15 on this. Hopefully it'll sell through. It has its tag as well. Very cute piece though. A full-size genie with the original tag. It's only worth about $25. I was a little bit surprised on that one as well. That hat looked like the pedo bear. It kind of has that look. It kind of has it. Yeah. She also gave me an Unravel figure. About $20 on those. And then lastly, we got some really nice glasses as well. The glasses that she gave me were surprisingly expensive. We got a pair of Prada glasses. And this is what happens, okay? People have stuff and they're like, well, what am I going to do with my old glasses? They're just sitting in a drawer. I'm just going to donate them. And they don't think that they're Prada and they're Gucci and they're Ralph Lauren and all of that stuff on the secondary market is going to be worth anything, but it really is. So we got those with the case. And then these ones list at $60. And then we got these really nice Ralph Lauren's wraparound style. And these are all authentic because, you know, her family has money. These ones list for about $35. Has a really nice carrying case with it as well. And then I just sold this a few minutes ago. Charmed seasons 1 through 5. I got $40 for that. It will go media mail, so it's not going to cost too much to ship out. What else did I get? Let me see if I got another bin. I got one more bin. Hold on. Okay, we got this giant Dr. Pepper plushie. This is a nice one. If you're a Dr. Pepper fan, I mean, I don't think they get any bigger than this on the retail market. I think I believe this is bigger than the ones that are available on eBay right now. And believe it or not, the very next day I found one that was about this height, and the person wanted $6, or the thrift store wanted $6. I ended up passing on it. But this one, I think I'm going to get $80 to $100, which is a little bit nutty. Has a little pull tab on the top, has a little silver rim on the bottom. Overall, really good condition for what it is and the age of the item. I think this is probably about a decade old at this point, but you're going to be hard pressed to find another one in this condition, at this age, in this size. So that's why I'm going to ask that much. And if you guys have been following the page for a long time, you've seen I've sold plush in the hundreds of dollars, and the extra large plush can do really, really well. So keep your eyes open for those when you're out there. A really nice Calvin Klein women's jacket, extra large size. If you're looking for a jacket this year, feel free to reach out to me. I'll give you a screaming deal on this one. And then the last item of the day was a little bit of a shocker, like really a bit of a shocker. Go and take a guess for me. What do you think this item is worth? Some Moana Screaming Chicken. I don't know if it works or not. Nope, it needs new batteries. Yeah, this Moana Screaming Chicken. It walks and screams and clucks, apparently. I paid, I think, $2 or $3 for it. It does have some staining and discoloration on the bottom. I don't know if I can spray and shout that out. Okay, if you put this bad boy on Amazon with the tag, you're going to get $45 to $50 for it. On eBay, it's consistently $35 to $45 on eBay for one of these brand new. Absolutely shocking. Definitely an item to keep your eyes open for if you see one. Hey guys, that's the pickups for today. I wish I had a transition to go into my final thoughts, but I just don't have that ready yet. I'm working on getting it all put together. And I know that some of you like to dip out right now, but I would love it if you had just hung around, because this is a little bit of a talk that I love having. Last week I didn't have my stuff put together. I wasn't ready, but this week I am. Anyone have any questions before we get into the last part of the show? Okay. Last week we talked about new money, or week before last. And what was I talking about with new money? I was referring to people who received their unemployment, people who received their COVID funding. And those of you who don't know, when the unemployment money comes in, they're giving people their back pay, which can go back all the way till January. Okay, it's quite a lot of money. That's what they're offering people. If you don't know, it's somewhere in the area of about, we'll just say conservatively, $10,000 to $18,000 is what they're offering people. And we talked a little bit about that because it was a little scary what was going on. A little scary what was going on with some people with the new money that they had coming in. This week, I want to talk more on it again. I typed out this full thing, and normally I don't read verbatim, but there's a lot of little intricacies that I wanted to cover. I have two friends now who have gotten their money and who have simply blown through it. This month, I have taken in over $20,000 worth of revenue for myself. A shocking amount, I'm sure, for those of you who are wondering, well, Jay, why do you ask us for Patreon money? Well, Jay, why do you run ads still on Craigslist? Well, Jay, why are you accepting super chats? It's important to understand that the money we make from one avenue does not relinquish our responsibilities for others. Far too often I see people come into large sums of money, some for the first time, some for the fourth or the fifth time, and it pains me to see that money come and go. Many get the money and cool their jets down. They feel as if they no longer need to work, whether that be for a month, a quarter, a year, or more. Some will say that they're simply enjoying their downtime and taking a much-needed break. And sure, sometimes this is true. Sometimes we do need to take a break, and sometimes we do need to slow down. But knowing how long of a break to take and when it's time to get serious again is oftentimes decided for you and not by you. When you run out of money and the cycle of life repeats itself, it becomes a painful lesson. Some have never had this lesson. Some have never had it, or some have had it many times over. Making the money, losing it all, and making it again, and getting comfortable, and then taking that break, and then losing it all over again. Extra money in your pocket can mean a better dinner, and extra money in your bank can mean some new clothes. But extra money in your savings account is like taking a deep breath for the first time. There's fear that comes from being on the brink of failure, like a real, guttural, deep, true fear. One emergency, a car breaking down, your air conditioner going out, a medical emergency, those of you with animals, if you have an animal emergency, being forced to move due to a natural disaster. But having a reliable savings you continue to feed is one of the core factors to long-term success and wealth building. People don't talk about it often enough. Build a savings. I ask for your donations and support so that we can take time to continue to share our knowledge with you and help others grow and become successful as well. I may be $20,000 richer this month, but that doesn't mean I won't work today or tomorrow or next week or next month. I will work day in and day out, and one day I'll have a house. And one day I'll put my feet up on my back porch, overlooking a forest with some water in the distance, and I won't remember the month that I made a small fortune, but I will remember all the days of hard work that got me to where I am that day. This channel will continue to grow and evolve, and we'll talk more about the direction it goes the moment that I know where it's going to go. But it's very important. With your success, you adjust your life accordingly. I see some people get success and their costs seem to scale with them, and they don't do much to make sure their costs stay down. And they pick up new hobbies, expensive ones. They pick up new habits, very expensive ones. And they start making bad decisions, because now there's room for error. Don't make bad decisions. Build a savings and continue to work even as that savings grows. Having a bank account with $20, $30, $40, or $50,000 in it does not mean that you get to stop working. Just because you got $10,000 today, maybe your unemployment money came in, or maybe you got a big bonus at work, or maybe somebody passed and you got that big nut of money all at one time. Don't cool your jets. Keep working. I can't stress this enough. Keep working. The comfort that comes from having all of your ducks in a row and knowing that everything is going to be taken care of is far greater than that new jacket or handbag or vacation or animal or whatever it might be that you're looking to spend that money on. Save your money. Times are going to be very challenging through the rest of 2020. I said this pandemic might not even end until they're saying the end of next year. The fires here in California won't stop burning until the end of the month. End of next month is what they're saying. Times are going to be a little bit dicey. Those of you who do not have a good savings, as things really come to a head, might be in a whole hell of a lot of trouble. Especially those of you here in California, those of you in New York. Things are going to be very, very interesting. So please, please, please be prepared. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching tonight. This has been the Reseller Roundup for September 13th, 2020. It's been a heck of a show. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me back. It was a good time. And I promise you, we'll keep doing something. And I don't know what. I want to have some fun variety videos, and I want to kind of get away from some of the reselling content because I think that there's a greater cause for me to be on the internet. And I'm not just saying that it's like some pompous mofo. I think that there's something more for me to do than talk to you about eBay terms of service and seller updates. Thank you again to all the patrons for making this video possible. If you liked it, hit the like. If you really liked it, go ahead and share it with somebody else so that way they're able to watch and consume this content as well. Again, thank you to the patrons. Thank you to Mike for the super chat. I'll definitely go get some chips. And thank you to everyone for your kind words in the comments. I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Have yourself a very wonderful evening and stay safe. And if you don't make that money, someone else will. Good night.